Good afternoon, everybody. Chicken Nugget here. So, today, we've just had this drop, the developer update of October 2022. However, I do not believe it is coming out this month. I believe it's coming out sometime in November. So, um, I'm very excited for most of the changes. I have already looked through it. I have, just so I could read through it and all. I've never really, just changing real fast. I've never really done a YouTube video like this before. I'm hoping to do more things like this, to hopefully try and grow the community and all that stuff that I'm trying to build. Um, anyway, let's get into the changes. First off, bots and custom matches. This is something people have been wanting since the beginning of custom matches. Whether you're playing with friends and you need an extra slot filled in, or whatever it may be, you're trying to practice a new killer, they are they are now adding bots. That is going to be absolutely amazing. I think bots are going to be absolutely fantastic and very much enjoyable. Um, I mean, what does this mean? I mean, you no longer have to go into a real match and get your butt absolutely stomped when you're trying to test out a new killer and see their ability and stuff like that. You can now go against bots and, not have to go against, Gene and the tryhard team, okay? That's pretty great, right? So, secondly, also, I might as well say this real fast. They are not adding killing bots or killer bots. We plan to add killer bots in a future update right there. Um, like they said, AI needs to be trained to use the killer power, all that stuff. They can't just have the trapper bot that they had in freaking the tutorial that literally doesn't place traps and literally just runs around everywhere and does nothing. Um, So this is probably my favorite change for this entire thing. I mean, never mind. I mean, there's a lot of really cool stuff here, but breakable walls and pallets are getting remodeled. They look absolutely fantastic, and I am so excited. They look absolutely wonderful. Um, the basement is being remodeled, and this is something I have asked for years. I have asked for months and months, and I am so absolutely excited for what is happening. Freaking walking down the stairs, you see all the blood running down the walls and the cobwebs, and then in the basement itself, blood everywhere. You can see bloody footprints. It is freaking, or shoe prints, whatever you want to call it. It looks absolutely spectacular, and I am really happy from what I'm seeing. Also, the basement looks a little bit bigger. It doesn't look as claustrophobic as it may have once been. It reminds me more of the RPD basement, which I really like the RPD basement. It's different from every other basement in the game, um, which is interesting. I really like it. I hope that, at some point hooks might get a little bit of love to them. I mean, they don't look bad. Like, don't get me wrong. But I think it'd be cool to see a visual change with the hooks and all, and possibly some, more effects and stuff with the different hooks. Anyway, moving on. Flashlight adjustments. So first off on the agenda here, locker blind immunity. So now whenever a killer pulls a survivor out of a locker, the killer will be immune to blinds. Okay, why is that important at all, you may ask? Think of a map like the Eyrie of Crows, or think of a map like Dead Dog Saloon, where there's a lot of double lockers that there's a basically nice space around them where people can jump out and blind you. I've been stuck in situations where I have been basically there's nothing I can do. It's a lose-lose situation. I try to grab the person out of the locker, I get blinded. I try to chase the person away from the lockers. The person either gets out and starts working on a generator, and then by the time I'm coming back, they're jumping back in the locker. And what am I supposed to do? Cry about it, I guess. This hasn't happened to me in a really long time, But for those that happens to frequently, it is pretty terrible and very demoralizing and very not fun for the killer. Um, but that's being changed. Now you're immune. Secondly, the flashlight save buffer is being added. So basically, what does this do? They're adding a short 2 or 0.25-second buffer to the end of the killer's pickup animation. Basically, if you blind the killer within that time, they will still drop the survivor once the animation is finished. Which I think is a good thing. It's scary for me to say that, but I think it's a good thing. It helps newer players help out their teammates and stuff like that. Even if somebody isn't, perfect with flashlight saves, you don't have to be as precise. You still need to be precise, but you don't need to be as precise as before. So they've lowered the skill ceiling for it just a little bit. So, newer players can really actually enjoy this aspect of the game. Because for the most part, you try to blind a killer while they're carrying somebody, they just look down, or they'll look up, or they'll turn sideways, whatever. So, next up, matchmaking improvements. Always great. So, team-based ratings. So now, whenever you die, it used to be basically if you died, your score would like go down. That was it. Win, escape good, death bad. Very anticlimactic. So now they are changing it to where it is a team-based rating. What does that mean? So, Um, basically, if let's say three of your teammates are hooked, you go in, you save all three of them, you die, you get grabbed and hooked. I mean, it is what it is, but your other three teammates escape, your score will still go up. You did good. Sure, you died, however, you saved your team, and it's great. I think that's a really good change. They're also adding changes for MMR for extended breaks. Now you'll have a little bit of delay or a decay in your MMR the longer you're gone, which I think is a good thing. It allows older returning players to come back and not get absolutely stomped by, everybody. You're sitting there try to learn a new killer. You're coming back because this new killer looks really cool. You're really interested in it, and which, I mean, I guess each killer has their own MMR. However, there's only there's a freaking default MMR that you're going to be at if you're like god tier with one of your killers, okay? Um, but it'll lower that MMR a little bit. However, after a few games, you start gaining MMR really fast again. So, you'll be back up there in no time. So, just quickly going through that. And so hold on, before I talk about this, there's also temporary ban stuff to discourage toxic behavior. All they're doing is increasing the duration of the bans. So, I mean, update on cheating. So, cheaters will no longer be able to hook themselves. Instantly power generators start a game with two killers. Stack duplicate perks, which for the most part, the only one of these that I've dealt with are the instantly powered generators and the duplicate perks. Like when they put like 15 bowl overs or whatever, and you cannot move forward. That crap sucks. Prevents extended flashlight blind durations. I've dealt with that. They cannot hold you hostage. Basically, they can't hold the match for extremely long time. Added countermeasures to force the match to end when the endgame collapse happens, which is a good thing, I'd say. It's a really good thing, okay? Countermeasures to prevent players sniping. I don't know how that's going to work, but they're going to stop whatever it is that cheaters use to instantly join people's lobbies, which is pretty great, I'd say. And fix an issue which allows cheaters to crash the game. And it says they've already identified multiple other vulnerabilities and they're rolling out fixes over the next coming weeks. So they are trying to crack down on the cheaters, which I am absolutely for, and that sounds amazing. Um, well, I mean, come on, this is a pretty big change. This is something that's really important to Dead by Daylight, and I think a lot of people will be really happy. So I think that is all the changes that were made. I'm still extremely excited for the new basement and all. This is honestly like my favorite change, okay? Um, so go check out the patch notes if you want. They are free for you to go check them out. Um, anyway, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with old Chicken Nugget for a little bit. Um, y'all be safe out there. Remember, drink some water, get some sunshine, enjoy yourself. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I may be streaming later today, possibly. Um, I have a raid in World of Warcraft, which, I mean, I gotta talk about that a little bit as well at some point. But, anyway, y'all be safe. Good luck out there.